the other day I did send a text. Scott, you thought I was fibbing, I think. I sent a text to Kenny Wallace because I was wanting, he's in it.
Right.
He ran a hot shoe up at it's Whitmer. I don't know if it's called Whitmer anymore, I think, but the Hot Shoe 100, and he had that speech on Facebook that was great about Dale Earnhardt telling him about these weekly races, the short track races. But I thought, I'm gonna try to reach out. I got a cell number, and I sent him a text, and I figured, well, I'll get a text back, one way or the other. He took time out of his day, and I really respect this, and became a bigger. He called me. He called me and talked to me for, 8-10 minutes, about he's going to Devil's Bowl Speedway that weekend. He can't make it. He thinks it's a great idea, for the North. He knows that they've done it in the South, but he thinks it's a great idea up North here. But, just for him to call and acknowledge that, he didn't have to do that. He's a busy man, and I thought that was great of him. And we discussed short track racing on asphalt for a second, and the state it's in. And I'm going to tell you guys, and I won't take much more of your time up. I know you got a show, but then I'm out at the racetrack. I got to finish some grading on a dozer. But
you put dirt on the place?
You wish. No, remove the dirt pile. I got to finish grading it out. But,
okay.
In the shape that short track asphalt short tracks are in right now, if we don't try different things like this, we might not survive. And how the heck do we know if it's going to work if we don't try it?
I shared this afternoon, I don't know if you saw it, Chris, a 1959 modified season championship at Sandusky Speedway.
Yeah, Iran was in that, wasn't it?
That's what somebody said. Were you up in the tower for that?
No. I think them guys back in them days would have come up and whipped me sometimes, the way I get a little hostile on the radio. Well, they didn't have radios then, so.
What year did
59 predates me, just not
barely,
much, but
yeah.
a little, yeah.
What year did Sandusky Raceway open? Do you know?
From what I know, Steve Horner's a historian on it. I think it was like in the around 50. Ron, you might know a little more. It was actually a dirt track before it was asphalt.
Chris, I'm thinking 1953, but I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, the Deckers, and I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I believe a year, maybe two, it was a dirt track. And I want to say it was 3/8 mile, but I could be wrong. But then Deckers paved it to a half mile.
And I'm pretty sure it's the same pavement.
Oh,
well, it's actually been paved a couple times. You never know.
Doug did some more historical work here for us.
Did he?
First feature was won by Richard Brickley of Willard, Ohio, in a 1932 Ford Coupe. He won $103
for his first feature win.
Well, that's 2,000 race fans there. Mission was more expensive back then than half of your races this year.
Yes, it was.
$1.25.
Jeez.
I'm telling you, I said it on this show. If you don't get the kids hooked at that age, and you're done. And what I'm seeing when I go back out there, when I see them when they're all pulling in and I'm getting ready to leave, it's a lot of the guys that raced years ago when I started in this, and coming up through Mansfield and everything. A lot of these guys that were what I call big time racers and very successful have now stepped back from their cars, sold them off, or they're sitting in a garage, and now they got kids and they're into these go-karts, teaching these kids coming up through. And I honestly think it's one of the greatest things is a person that I've been around as long as I have to sit and watch the second, third generation, third generation on some of them coming up through. And it just, it's kind of cool.
When we were living in upstate New York, a lot of the racetracks there had a clubhouse where they had pizza and sandwiches and maybe a few adult beverages. And then after the races, you'd have to go to that clubhouse to get paid. And there were a lot of racers that left just about broke.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's, That's the way it used to be at Sandusky. I remember I'd get paid $30 a night. This is way back when I worked the corner on a safety crew. And I can tell you every Saturday night, it cost me about $40, $50 after I spent that $40 in the bar.
But damn, you had fun, didn't you?
I had a blast. And somebody put up the other day, I seen a post where this is it's supposed to rain. And Dan Dittman, I hope so. And somebody, what do you mean? I said, well, I remember, what was it, 3 years ago? It was a monsoon.
Oh, my
gosh.
Yes.
I've never been so cold at a racetrack in my life.
Don't ever let anybody out there, don't ever let anybody tell you they can't run in a monsoon, because we proved them wrong January 1st. We did no more finish racing.
That was
Kevin calls me on the radio and he goes, hey, man. I said, what? And he goes, don't mess around, get this through. And I says, I know it's raining. He goes, no, we're about to flood.
It did flood.
Yeah.
The payout thing was underwater. I
was
like, how am I supposed to get paid?
It wasn't. We didn't drop the last checker flag, and it wasn't even 10 minutes. And the track was coming up with water. You walk down, there was 2 inches of water running through the tunnel, 3 inches. Yeah. Doug's at one end, and he goes, how deep? Oh, it's not deep, Doug.
Right. That's exactly what he said.
Trust me when I tell you this, because years ago I flagged the hangover several times. People can make them snowballs go to the flag stand.
My granddaughter has done it.
Yeah, I got hit in a certain area one time, and I was breathing hard down my knees for a few minutes, and everybody got a good laugh out of it. But
not everybody got a good laugh out of it.
No, I didn't. I was talking pretty high pitched for a while, but
the show I actually looked most forward to is the one that you guys helped me. October, I believe it's 19th.
October 19th.
Yes.
And that, finishes up our cavalcade, but October 19th, Nightmare Clash is Fremont Trucks versus the Oakshade, we call them Bombers or
Super Stocks.
Okay, the Oakshade Super Stocks versus the Street Stocks, asphalt Street Stocks. And, that in itself is going to be a hell of a deal. And then we brought in the CRS Truck Series, the Midwest Dirt Compact Series. Then, me and Jim Hanks cut a deal where we're also going to have the Must-See Racing Light Series there that day too. That show, we booked it, and I feel it's something we were talking about a few years back. We didn't do it with the late model deal. We're committed to this October 19th deal, and what I think, what I'm hoping for is a crossover. You're going to see a lot of dirt fans maybe come because you guys are running. You're going to see asphalt fans seeing some dirt cars other than the hangover. The CRS trucks are going to be there. Must-See Racing Lights are going to be there, so the fans will see some sprint cars. It's just in the Midwest.
It's going to be a fun show, Chris.
And I'll get the race head to head with you on that too.
Ooh, baby.
Yep.
Get that truck back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I got Drew Jack. He owns Great Lakes Promotion, National Compacts, and Midwest Dirt. And I got Drew Jack talked into running that with his Midwest Dirt Series, and it all come together in 2 days.
Yeah, it was like, what was that, between Christmas and New Year's or something like that?
Hey, what do you think of this? Yeah, let's do it.
A couple phone conversations at night, and 2 days later we were announcing it.
You guys, appreciate all you guys, what you do for the hangover race. Thank you. And other than that,